What's up, everybody? In this video I want to talk to you about how to compile RTcmix. So compiling RTcmix can be unfortunately a pretty daunting and confusing process, but sometimes that's how things are, and you can actually use this as an opportunity to prove yourself and your mom and dad that you're ready to start learning RTcmix and make some cool sounds with it. I can assure you that it will pay off at the end. You just have to bear with me for the remainder of this video, and after this I promise everything else should feel like a no-brainer, and most importantly should be fun. So with that in mind, let's just jump right into it. So the first thing we need to do is go to the App Store, and from the App Store we are going to download Xcode. And so you should be able to see a get button right here. I already have it on my computer, so you're going to go ahead and download it. Once you have downloaded and installed Xcode, you can open it, and before you're able to see this window, because it's the first time you'll be launching the application, what you're gonna see is a window asking you to agree to the license agreement. So once you do that, it will ask you for your password, and once you enter your password, you'll get a loading window telling you that it's installing some components, and those components are the reason why you are doing all of this. And so that's all you need Xcode for. So you can go ahead and just close this thing, and we can quit Xcode, and we are ready to go to the RTcmix.org website, and we can download the source code. So we're going to go to standalone RTcmix releases page, and then we're going to download the latest release of RTcmix. So I'm going to download the tar.gz file. Once it's downloaded, I'm going to extract the folder. I'm going to rename this, get rid of the version number, and what I'm going to do is open a new tab in the Finder, and I'm going to copy this folder into the home directory. So if you don't know where your home directory is, you can press Shift Command H, and it should take you to a folder that will look something like this. So you can just drag your RTcmix folder into the home directory. What I like to do with the RTcmix folder is put a tag on it. And so after this, we are ready to start compiling the source code. So to compile, let's close all of this. We are going to open terminal, and in my computer I have it in my dock, but I assume that's not the case in your computer. So go to Launchpad, go to this subfolder named Other, and you should be able to see the terminal icon here. So open terminal, and the first thing we are going to type is cd, which stands for change directory. And by default, if you type cd alone, it should take us to the home directory in your computer. You might want to memorize this command also, because it's going to be very useful for upcoming tutorials. So what we're going to do is hit return, and now we're going to type ls, which stands for listing, and this one you should also memorize. These two commands, cd and ls, are 2 out of 3 commands that you'll be using very often. Let's hit return, And what you should be able to see are the same folders that you were looking at in the Finder when you press Shift Command H. So you can see that this list of folders matches this one in the terminal. So we're looking at the same directory and the same location on our computers, but in this case we're looking at it from the terminal. And so what we are going to do now is type cd again, but type afterwards RTcmix, and what this should do is go inside this folder right here. So we're gonna press return, and now we're going to type /configure, and before you hit return you have an option here. So what you can do is you have the option to allow RTcmix to have access to more than a single core processor in your computer. You have no idea what this means. You can just leave this configure command alone. If you do know what I'm talking about, then you can go ahead and type -- with multi-thread equals 2 and the number of processors that you want RTcmix to have access to. In my case, I want RTcmix to have access to up to 8 core processors, and after that's done, I'm gonna hit return. So that's gonna spit several lines of text, and by the end you should be able to see that if you used the multi-thread support argument for the configure command, this should say true. If you didn't, it should say false like the rest of the other optional arguments. Now we can type make and hit return. This is going to take a little bit longer, and we're going to get an error message that we should be expecting. So once you see it, do not worry about it. Yeah, so here it is. We should be seeing something like this, which is fine. And now we're going to type make install. So after we hit return, something similar is going to happen, and this one will take a while, so we just have to wait. Okay, so should be almost done. Okay, so what you should be able to see is the install done line at the end of this whole thread of code. What we're going to do now is type cd again to go to the home directory, and in here we are going to type the touch command to create a .profile file. So hit return, and what we're going to do next is type open -a text edit and then .profile. And so if you hit return, this window is going to open, and this is a text edit. So what we're going to type in this window is the following. So in all caps, we're going to type path equals $, open curly braces, path, close curly braces, colon, $, open curly braces, type home in all caps, close curly braces, then /RTcmix /bin, and then on the next line we're going to type export. Make sure it doesn't start with a capital E, because it sometimes does this autocorrect thing, and once it's like this, you're going to type path in all caps again, and you're going to save this file. Once you've saved the file, we're going to close this, and if we type in the terminal cat.profile, we should be able to see what we just typed right here. So that means that things are going as expected. And what we have to do now is type source.profile, hit return, and we can close the terminal window, open again. And now, finally, what we're going to do is type cmix. And so if you're able to see this thing right here, that means we have made it. We have successfully compiled RTcmix and we are ready to run some scripts and move on to the next tutorial. So as always, feel free to leave a comment or questions if you have any, and thanks for watching.